If you're setting sail on the sleek and stylish MSC Seascape for the very first time, you're in for an experience that blends modern design, international flair, and plenty of sea views. But if you've cruised on other lines before, or never at all, there are a few things that are rather unique that you'll want to know before boarding this floating city. I just got off the MSC Seascape myself, and I want to share with you some helpful tips and insights that I think can make your first MSC Seascape cruise smooth sailing from start to finish. I'm the solo cruiser Wade Heath, and if you feel like my reporting and perspective bring you any sort of value, please consider subscribing to the channel and ensure that like button is firmly pressed. Here we go. To begin, let's talk about how MSC Seascape feels European, and how that's a good thing. MSC Cruises is based in Switzerland with deep Italian roots, so you should expect a distinctly European vibe. You'll hear multiple languages on board, mealtimes definitely run later, and announcements, they often happen in several different languages. It's kind of part of the charm. The Seascape attracts a global crowd, making you feel like you're traveling the world before even reaching your next port. In fact, on the Seascape, I was kind of blown away by the fact that to the left and right of me in my cabin setup, there were people who were speaking two completely different languages from elsewhere on the globe. And it turns out that the rest of the Seascape was overwhelmingly attended by a passenger mix that was international instead of US-based. And it was a US-based departure out of Miami. Something I don't think I've ever experienced before out of a US port. It definitely made it different and was a lot of fun because of it. So I'd say embrace it, grab a cappuccino, and enjoy the cultural mix. Next, let's talk about the ship's design being all about the ocean. MSC Seascape was built to connect you to the sea. From its glass-floored bridge of size at the back of Deck 16 to panoramic elevators and countless outdoor lounges. The infinity pool area and the aft views are some of the very best at sea. And a tip for you, for stunning sail-away photos, head to the back of the ship at sunset. It is one of those wow moments you'll replay over and over. It is a social media haven of imaging, and I think that's why you see so many MSC photos on social media nowadays. It's because they set their ships up to look pretty darn sleek for any time you want to share some content. To follow that, dining is an adventure and sometimes a puzzle. MSC offers a mix of included dining rooms and specialty restaurants like Butcher's Cut Steakhouse, Ola Tacos, and Kato Teppanyaki. The food tends to reflect MSC's international crowd. I'd say expect more Mediterranean-style dishes and less of the typical American cruise comfort food. The buffet is open long hours and offers everything from pasta to pizza, which MSC is rightfully proud of. Just know that table service at the main dining room can be a bit slower, as Europeans do enjoy a leisurely meal. To follow, the MSC app is your new best friend. Download the MSC For Me app before boarding. You can use it to check daily activities, make reservations, and even track where you are on the ship, which, you'll definitely need those first couple of days. If you get the Wi-Fi package, the app's chat feature is handy for staying in touch with your travel companions without needing an international plan. The app really does have kind of answers for everything, and on a ship where so much has to be translated, going to a one-stop source in your language is incredibly helpful. So make sure that you download that app prior to boarding. Next, the entertainment has global flair. MSC's shows lean more toward musical performances, dance, and acrobatics than Broadway-style storylines. Even if you don't understand all the lyrics, the productions are visually stunning and packed with talent. Don't miss the shows in the Cora Theater and book them early in the app because seats fill up fast. I feel like in all of my MSC videos I have been sharing recently, because I think it's important, if you want to see something in the theater, go ahead and book it on the app ahead of time. That's right. So as soon as you board, make sure you go into that app, go ahead and reserve a spot for a show you want to attend in the theater. The theater does get full. It is not big enough to accommodate everybody that's on board, and when everybody wants to see a particular show, that booking really does help you in the end when they start to restrict who can access the theater and who can't. A lot of times walk-ins end up standing in the aisles because all the seats are taken. So the entertainment, it is something a lot of people want to see. Just make sure that you've secured your seat in advance. Moving on, expect a more a la carte experience. MSC's base fares often look like a great deal, and they certainly are. In terms of value, I don't know of a cheaper at-sea experience right now for what you get than MSC. But many of the extras, like Wi-Fi, drinks, and even room service, cost more than on some of the American cruise lines. If you prefer an all-inclusive feel, I'd say get familiar with how they classify their different levels of stateroom experience. They start with Bella, they move to Fantastica, Aria is next, and then finally at the top, you have the Yacht Club. All of these are different experiences, and all of these are different price points that you can buy into prior to your cruise. Bella being the lowest, and really just being that face value pricing that you're going to get, where there is absolutely no extras. It is just a room. Everything else will cost you. The higher you go, the more all-inclusive it becomes. So, you want more perks? Go for the higher end of their complete scale. That will get you there. Drink packages, priority boarding, access to exclusive areas, that's what the Yacht Club will get you. The Aria space is really dedicated to more of the suites on board. They even have their own sun deck, which I think is pretty cool. Fantastica, which I have stayed in, comes with complimentary room service, and something that I took advantage of quite often because, by gosh, it was really helpful in a ship that didn't have a whole lot of grab-and-go type food items. Calling up that room service was really supportive in certain instances. And then, of course, back to Bella, like I mentioned, where it's pretty much just that base value buy-in. So all things you should consider prior to booking your cruise on MSC. Continuing on, MSC Seascape has a serious tech edge. This ship is one of MSC's newer in the fleet and features all kinds of bells and whistles, including a Robotron-type attraction high atop the pool deck, smart elevators, and interactive screens throughout the vessel. If you love modern ships, this one feels kind of like a futuristic resort. Everything is sleek and shiny. I've said before, the MSC ships feel like everything is reflective. Safety be damned, everything is going to reflect, everything is going to be slick. No matter how many times we have to put up those little yellow caution signs, everything is going to be marble. Everything is going to reflect back to you. Everything is loaded with LED lights that make nighttime strolls on board also kind of feel like a music video. It really is an impressive setup and very glossy, right? Very elegant, glossy, and shiny, to say the least. So if that's something that you're looking for, it has a very elegant upscale type feel to it, and definitely goes an extra mile beyond, say, like a traditional Carnival type ship, right? So you're paying sometimes less than Carnival prices based on the itinerary, and you are, I think, getting more just in terms of the overall aesthetic. And speaking of that aesthetic, I'd say pack for both glamour and comfort. MSC leans into that European elegance on their ship, and you should expect at least one elegant night, and many guests tend to go all out with tuxes, suits, and gowns. You see a lot of people dressing up on board. Not to say everybody does, just like any other ship and any other line. These types of elegant nights still have a demographic that are in flip-flops and tank tops, and that's perfectly fine. But during the day, the vibe is very casual resort wear for all, and evenings tend to turn into a bit of a catwalk. Pack smart, so you can enjoy both poolside chill and that evening sophistication. Next, Ocean Cay is a must-do experience. If your itinerary includes Ocean Cay, MSC's Marine Reserve, make it a full beach day. This private island in the Bahamas is stunning, with crystal clear waters, palm trees, and very few crowds They are all spread out amongst this island, and therefore it's like your own little slice of paradise in some parts, especially if you're in the Yacht Club area. Stay for the nighttime lighthouse show, a colorful, music-synced spectacle you won't soon forget. There are 2 different locations on Ocean Cay in which to grab a buffet lunch. It's included and is one of the best meals they serve all cruise. This Ocean Cay destination is one that MSC spent a fortune creating because they found this island, which was at one time a mining island that had been sort of left to rot, completely destroyed by all the mining. MSC pumped millions into creating this destination and resurrecting the coral reef around it and restoring this island to a tropical paradise. Totally worth visiting, totally worth spending a day, and continues to get very high marks from any cruiser that goes that direction. Next up, the Yacht Club is a world of its own. You've heard me talking about it throughout this list. You're probably wondering, what is that? Well, even if you're not staying there, it is worth knowing about MSC's Yacht Club. It is a ship within a ship experience that includes butler service, private pool deck, restaurant, bar, grill area. These are all private locations reserved specifically for Yacht Club guests. You have your own concierge desk as well. If you crave a quieter, more luxurious cruise within Seascape's buzz, consider upgrading next time. It completely transforms the experience. This is like a gated community within the Seascape. And I did the MSC Yacht Club over on the Seashore, the sister ship to the Seascape, that is almost identical to the Seascape in every way. I had an incredible time. This was one of my most memorable cruises in existence, and I am going to link it for you here at the end of this video so that you can see exactly what it's like beyond the Yacht Club gates. It is very different for sure, and something everybody should take advantage of at least once in their life. Your first MSC Seascape cruise will likely feel different from other major cruise lines, and that's part of its magic, especially if you happen to get Captain Tuvo, as I did on the MSC Seascape during my journey. Captain Tuvo is a legend among cruise lines. He's somebody who I've only heard about over the years, someone who made quite the mark over at Princess Cruises, and then when MSC came to America, well, they lured him right away, didn't they? And so now Captain Tuvo is sailing aboard the MSC Seascape. He's somebody that under a 7-day cruise, I had so much fun getting to know. He's one of the most engaging and silly captains I've ever seen. He's somebody that absolutely understands the joy of cruising, and he makes sure that he touches every passenger possible, and that you walk away feeling the warmth of his leadership. With its international energy, sleek design, and modern amenities, this ship offers a mix of sophistication and fun that grows on you with every day at sea. So relax, order yourself a cappuccino, and let MSC show you their unique take on cruising, European flair included. Have you ever sailed on the MSC Seascape before? Do you have an MSC Seascape cruise coming up and have questions for me? If so, drop them down in the comments. I'd also love to hear if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting Captain Tuvo. What a character he is, that's for sure. As I had mentioned, I had an opportunity to spend 7 days at sea on the sister ship to the Seascape, the Seashore, in which I was behind the pearly gates of the Yacht Club, and I get to share that experience with you here with that video on the right. And for embarkation day tips where you don't want to mess things up, right? That's an important day. Check out that video on the left. We'll see you next time on the Solo Cruiser. I'm Wade Heath.